making a beehive, it tends to be a box, the way I make this one, because what I'll do is I'll turn the beehive and then turn it around and I make a bottoms apart. You end up with that beehive with a bottom on it like so. I also, you can see I put decals on this one, and that was the only one I ever put decals on because it didn't look exciting to me. So I buy, Michael sells bees that are three-dimensional. The problem with them is the glue isn't strong enough to stay on them, so you have to hot glue them on, but it's just a process. And the crazy thing about this is Michael sells them, but not in Lisbon. I have to go to Dayville to get them. So when I buy them, I buy several cards of them to put on there. So beehive tends to be, I had a pencil, there it is. Tends to be about 2.5 inches. I'm going to make it a little longer because I can. I have plenty of wood. I'm cutting the wood for this. This is the normal size that I cut, which is about 4 inches. My directions say 3 3/4, but 4 inches is just a little more waste. And then this happens to be, this one is tulip poplar. And this one, obviously, as you can tell, is box elder. The other thing I also make is with the beehive is I make a salt and pepper shaker. And I will turn the pepper shaker here. I forgot to bring the insert for it, but Rockla sells these inserts in the package. And they're like a 7/8 hole. So what I do is when I drill the hole in them, I drill them at the right depth. And I took a speed bit and I sanded it so when I drill the hole, the thing slides in nice and tight. So when I use the CA glue on, I scuff it. And that works for me. All right, I'm going to turn this around first. I'm a fan of the Easy Wood tools. One thing I didn't do, and I always do before I start, keep putting that damn pencil down. Is I always make, I did make a mark. I make a mark just off of here so I can see it, so I don't run my tool into the chuck. There. I brought my own tool rest because the other one is big. I don't know why it's making that noise. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole in here. Oh, I ran into a problem. You sent a thing about the Scotch pads that he...
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what the hell happened. But they came. It just doesn't want to fit my...
Why is that?
That's for your floor ball.
That's for my bigger turning, I think.
The bowl sander.
So the hole for the bees is just somewhere, you know, just up in here, and I just... And normally I drill that before I even start turning them. I'll go with that, I'll turn. So the whole thing, like I said, is about 2 3/4. And I usually try to leave enough for when I'm making the bottom that if I screw up, I got room to make another one or another one after that. And I hate this without the wheel on the back. So I use a parting tool and I stop my paper. Then I just follow it back. To make the edge here. thing that you can do with it, right, it's hollow, is you can put a honey candy in it. You know, I had one woman I made one for, she put $100 bill in it and give it to her grandson. You know, and sometimes I made people don't even know that they're hollow. So I do want to clean that hole up a little bit.
What diameter drill was it you started with in there?
Excuse me?
What diameter drill did you start with? And you said you drilled a hole.
What I did is for the hole, I took, I like 1 inch, but I don't know where my 1 inch Forstner is. So this is the one that I shaved down for the salt and pepper shaker, and I just used that. It's a little less than 1 inch, it's 15/16 inch. And that's what I use.
We should bring that up,
This is the first thing you want to learn.
It's just showing something. I'll take it on a small piece of rag and I'll put some stuff. Never do this. You use a paper towel, but I like a rag.
Until, you know, in a few years.
Just the countersink and just flare that hole a little bit.
The stuff I do, man, I wear a mask, you know, piece comes flying off. Gee.
Just using a 120 paper, get it close. Mucho caliente. Do you ever notice there's a funny odor to the box elder? It smells like cow manure to me. It does.
That's old.
Now, take that a little closer down.
Doesn't work in reverse, Joe.
You turn the tool over.
That's like that righty-tighty.
There it is.
No joke.
Grooves in for the beehive. Sometimes I'll just bend this real tight and just do a little sanding. Like to part them off, rather cut it off. There you have the top of the beehive. And this one, I've never done it with the box elders. Really pretty. Now comes the base. First thing I do is I clean up the garbage here. You notice I put a hose clamp, so I keep my depth. Actually, it's too high. Lower this down a little bit, just a hair too high for me.
Instead of a hose clamp,
I only had that tonight. I normally use washers.
oh, okay. I use just plastic pipe. and I
PVC
have-
pipe.
Yeah, I've done that with copper pipe. I had different size inserts for the different
And
tools.
I have a marking on the side, okay, my
Yep.
hollowing says, so it's, in another one, it says 3/8, so that I have some, you know, for different bowl gouges, so that I can,
Yeah, like I said, at home I use
washers.
washers.
Yeah,
And because certain tool rests, you know, this one here takes 5 washers to come to the same level. My S takes 3, and my big long one only takes 1.
oh, I got you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I forgot to bring the washers. I figured, well, this will help me out and get me through it. base is a little bigger. This is probably what takes the longest, determining at what point how much I gotta pare that down. And if it gets too loose sometimes, and we've done that, is I put some CA glue on it, and then the first coat's going to get soaked right up, and then just keep adding it until it gets a little thicker, so the thing jams, so it still opens.
One more time. And then it's too big.
Oh, okay,
Right?
Yeah, we're almost there.
or it flies.
How much have I got here?
Yeah. I've had pieces fall off and take my lights out.
See, you never know whether it's this or that. Pretty close.
Do you get this? Do you just see this Monroe?
Okay.
Yeah, I have that. Blue one out, but he's quite, he's a really clever artist.
The other thing while I'm doing this,
Oh my God. What the hell is it?
the little hooks that I use, the hook eyes at number 214, they're 3/16 inch. You can't, I tried ordering them on Amazon,
He was doing a hook.
and they don't give you that number. Nothing refers to it. They just give you the size of the thread, the length of them, the size of the hook. Drives you nuts.
He said, that's
And,
what I went and bought one. I saw the guy doing
All
it.
right, so it's pretty close.
Well, they're buddies. Yeah. Jesus.
It's not perfect, and I can take it home and sand it and make it perfect. So, all I do now is hard off the bottom in much the same manner. And since I started the point here, I have a little drill, I drill it and then put the hook, put the screw eye in. So I just want a bottom about that big. And never saw over the tool rest. Dulls it so. That's basically how that's done.
I gave you some, didn't I?
There you go.
Okay,
Good job.
I gave you a couple.
so now when I'm making salt and pepper shaker, it's done just the opposite. Instead of the bottom is going to be in and the top is out. And anybody want to make anything? Now, I've already made one, and I forgot to bring the insert. And when I make a salt and pepper shaker, I make one out of a white wood and one out of a black wood. And where is one? Thought I marked it. I did. And this is, I've already checked this hole against the insert, and it's good. And even at that, sometimes when you're drilling, you get a little wobble, especially because you got a spade bed out there that far. You can go to the heavier CA glue, go to a medium, or sometimes I've even put a shim in the bottom, you know, and they've stood up. Once again, I've marked the spot here so I know where I am. First off, we'll make the thing round. Little flat spot, yeah. I could make it about 2.5 inches. Since this is the bottom, These are really easy to make. Pretty piece of wood.
So the kit basically says it wants a hole that's next deep. This is a peppermill. What?
So these are,
The shape.
it's a set of inserts that you get when one's just, it's not a mill, it's just a shaker.
Oh, okay. So it's a shaker, and then you have the insert that goes in there. That
Right,
goes,
so this-
I got it. All right.
Yeah, so I leave it so that the thing sticks up maybe 3/16,
Okay.
so that there's room for you to get a hold of the top that unscrews that you fill. It's an insert, and one comes with 4 or 5 holes, and the other one comes with a single hole, depending, I don't know which one's which. So,
And that cover shows,
yes, it's
so you got
silver.
a chrome piece that's
Yes,
on top of that piece of wood.
right. I'm sorry I didn't bring it, but next.
No, don't be sorry. Just don't do it again.
Roland's feisty tonight.
Somebody want to pull that knife?
Roland's picking on me, picking on you. What are they gonna pick on? Jeez.
So, short of, and then the same thing that with the grooves in it, I used to measure them, and I says, you know, my eye's pretty good sometimes, so I just and I normally would put in fact, while I got it in my soil, I'll put a hole in the thing so it looks like a beehive. Drills on the table. And the interesting thing is with a lot of it, especially with the tulip poplar, is you get these lines like that. So I try to put the hole somewhere so it's symmetrical to it. There. That one come out clean, but I'll still.
That's not the hollow portion.
I keep reaching for the wheel.
Yeah. Not familiar, lathe.
So the insert goes all the way down, and
It goes down about 2 inches.
okay.
When I drill the hole, I'll show you the drill bit.
So you don't have salt or pepper actually touching
The actual,
the wood.
the actual length of that is from this tape to here.
Oh, got it.
Okay, this is obviously going to be a little further in there.
So it's a threaded top that you take that out to fill it, and then screw it back on.
You just undo the top
Right.
as you glue the insert in.
I got
And
it.
like I do with the brass, is I actually scuff the plastic so that it'll adhere when it's in there. And they're sitting there on my bench along with a lot of other stuff I was supposed to bring. Again, we just put the holes. Let's see, we're forward yet. Part it off, and there's a pepper shaker. I sold a lot of these for people who are doing bees and just like to have, you know, it's just a neat little rig, and it's easy enough to do. at home, I sand the bottom with I got a 1-inch belt sander that I use to sand the bottom.
Is this the cake here?
That's what they look like, roll.
No, I'm not, no,
Okay.
it's looking,
I
think
got
it's
it up.
Rockler.
Yeah,
Rockler?
yeah, I got it. See, I do not lose.
Expert with that now.
That's all it takes. Funny, this one's a little,
You could remove the tailstock and part the whole thing right off without having to saw it, right?
could do a lot of things.
Just a
This one
suggestion.
actually, I didn't square the top, it's a little off, but that's, I'll sand that and, but that will become a pepper shaker for somebody. All right, next month I will do a couple others. I think you guys have seen me do the lighthouses. Do this one. And the interesting thing is 90% of that is all done with a parting tool. And when it was an article in the AAW magazine, it drove me crazy because it was a page, 3 pages of information to make that. And the guy had calipers all over the place. So the first time I made one, it took me an hour. And, 7/8 here, 15, 16. It was just driving me crazy. And goes, wait a minute. All it's got to be is representative. So make it the right length. So I took a, what did I do with it? Thought I brought it with me. Yeah, I do. I took a 3x5 card. And these are the marks. And the ones that are highlighted are the ones that I use right off. And the ones that aren't come in second. Because you can't color this without the stuff bleeding. So you need to make a little groove in between to stop the bleed. And so there's a little bit of a groove here. Some of them I've made with a small skew. When I use that, the detail of the hole, it's a little wider. But that's, and then the funny thing about it is when you get done, until you put the yellow in, it doesn't look like a lighthouse. It becomes 3-dimensional when you add the light. I was doing one of these up at the wood show, and there was a kid watching me. When we got done, I says, come on over here and help me. And I had him turn the light on. Take the yellow and light it, and then I gave it to him. Take home with him.
I remember that.
Yeah. This one I made in 16. I just put my initials in the year. So, and I make them with red, I make them black. I have made one shorter one. I had a whole bottle of them that I was bringing and I left them home. So, some new ones, I don't know if they're gonna work. So anyway, that's it for the night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.